I'm back. Did you miss me? I have been battling with COVID past week, but your slightly damaged but still kicking hostess has returned from the COVID trenches. A bit of fever and a lot of dry coughs won't stop me from my duty of providing YouTube's most of the world music news. However, now with 99% less virus but 100% more delirium. And my voice is probably even weirder than it used to be, so I apologize for that. So it is that time of the week. It is time to tune in. As AI is still the biggest story of 2024 and continues to make headlines almost daily, the first legal issues for the technology are starting to become clear. The state of California has the 5th biggest GDP of any country in the world, even though it is just one of the states of the United States. They have to remind that to us every single time. We are just state, but we are the 5th biggest. Okay, we got it, you know, Californians, we got it. You have a huge economy. You have Silicon Valley. Inside its borders, you will not only find the Silicon Valley and Hollywood, but there are also headquarters of countless major record labels. All of these businesses have their own agendas when it comes to AI and how it should be used and who can use it. So it is a bit surprising that they are at the forefront of passing what seems to be agreeable laws that will regulate the industry that almost everyone is happy with. Two different laws were signed into effect this week, AB 2602 and AB 1836. While those sound more like license plate numbers than laws dealing with the complexity of an AI, they both are very important for how music, TV and movies are going to deal with using the technology. AB 2602 requires a contract for anyone to use a performer's voice or likeness, making deepfakes illegal and also making it more standard for a contract to exist before you train your AI to sound like a singer like Billie Eilish. AB 1836 prohibits the use of deceased artists without the consent of their estate. So if you are looking to train an AI to have that deep baritone of Barry White anytime soon, you will need to reconsider that. The unions representing artists in both acting and singing have praised the move by the stated, and even AI companies like ChatGPT running OpenAI agree with the regulations. Because they already trained, that's why. Since California holds so much economic power, this type of law can really shape the future of AI usage through the world. That is called Brussels effect. It's from Europe. If Brussels passes a law, it goes global. Today you learned. Take that, California. But regardless, good job, California. It is the best thing you have done since voting to have Arnold Schwarzenegger as your governor. Most announcements of new gear typically doesn't elicit many surprise expressions of review teams these days. With leaks happening regularly and planned launch dates done well in advance, a piece of gear has usually already been dissected by hardware nerds for at least a few weeks before it is announced. Well, Roland pulled a fast one on almost everyone this last week by expanding their A-Rack compact line of products with the P6. Typically, the A-Rack compact units are named after classic Roland gear, like the T8 that is a small 808, or the S1 tweak that emulates their classic SH101 synth. This time, the P6 doesn't seem to be emulating anything, but rather is borrowing from the SP404, which is a modern piece of gear. The device is a sampler that runs off batteries and is so small you could fit in your purse or back pocket of some J&Co jeans that are coming back in style. I have no idea what those are. J&Co? Jinko? Jinko sounds cool. And if you think the small size means a lack of features, you would certainly be wrong. With an audio input as well as an onboard mic, you can sample sounds either from a third-party field recorder mic or directly to the device itself. If you are not happy with the original recording, you can resample through the onboard FX processor to chop and change the sample to the sound you desire. A chromatic mode that lets you play the sounds in tune and allows for 16 voice polyphony. There's even a granular control to really mess with your samples and create crazy texture. This is all fed into a 64-step sequencer that includes loop functions, motion recording for automations, and micro timing and sub-step sequencing. In typical era fashion, it won't cost you an arm and a leg for all that power, with the device on sale now for €200. If you're enjoying the video up to now, please consider like and subscribe, and you may see me healthier next week. If you are feeling like you want to make some old school style music, there is not a lot of instruments that can be considered more older school than the 1700s. Since the 1700s, pianos have become staple instruments in studios. I didn't know that. The grand pianos are considered the holy grail of sound quality for the instrument. While it is now extremely expensive and often takes up too much space for most studios to have a great piano in their rooms, Casio wants all users to be able to have the feel and sound of the 88 ivory keys. With two new entry-level digital pianos, Casio claims that the AP300 and APS200 can give you just that feel in a much smaller package and for a significant discount. That's what they say. The more expensive AP300 includes a speaker system that disperses the sound to make you feel like you are in a concert hall with a Steinway. Probably Steinway, right? It's a German word. Steinway. The smaller APS200 has a similar concept, but in a slimmer design and lower power speakers. Both include Bluetooth adapters for wireless MIDI and audio streaming, allowing you to not to need to run cabling to your laptop for either control of another instrument or recording your latest concerto. The high-end model is €1,400 and the less expensive model is just €1,200. That was not so different, and available in black, brown and white colors to match your decor. If you are into taking your money and lighting it on fire by buying Eurorack modules in an ever-increasing collection of various modules, you may know the name Jomox. So weird. Eurorack people, you are fine. You are not burning money. Or maybe you do, I don't know. If you are like me and have avoided the addiction that is aptly being termed Eurocrack by a writer, then Jomox might be a new name for you. The company introduced a module in 2021 at Superboot that was so popular they have now turned the module into a desktop standalone synth. The mod FMD is essentially a copy of their module with 8 voices, 26 algorithms inspired by the Yamaha DX9. With 4 available FM operators, 6 analog filters, and an analog VCA per voice, the synth offers all the grinding and ringing goodness that you would expect from an FM noise box. And since it is taken from the modular world, the device has a large amount of CV or gate inputs available for you to connect wires and set up your sounds. If you don't want to control the unit with the CV wires, it does have MIDI over USB-C input. The unit goes on sale in November with a list price of €1,200, and if you are addicted to collecting modules and upsetting your significant other with new purchases, the Eurorack version is available now for €4,000. Okay, that was expensive for a Eurorack. A singer once said the best thing in life are free. So today I bring you something free. Or is it? A brand new plugin company, Vavia, released their initial product this week and kind of sort of made it free, except you need to pay for it or not. The Flight plugin is a hybrid 4x multi-sampler that comes with 2.5 GB of samples and free to download and play with the 200 presets that are offered with the device. The samples are from Shoro's Roofy, the company's owner's personal collection of devices, including classics and modern instruments. The list is extensive, like the Yamaha CS80, Roland Juno 106, Jupiter 8, TB303, TR808, blah blah blah, billions others. In the free version, you only can control a few macros that have been chosen to show up on the device, and this is where things get not so free. Pay to win, baby. A creator's paid version of the product upgrades it to a full sampler and then throws in a synth engine with FM, virtual analog and wavetable oscillators. Once you level up your game, controls expand to let you have full assignable matrix of modulation over 2 filters, 3 assignable envelopes and 3 LFOs. There is also a 32-step sequencer, a 3-band EQ, a granular reverb and full control of assigning the macros to anything on the synth or sample controls. The plugin is also very good looking with the sleek design cues, and Rufy has mentioned he's working on a custom UX editor that includes an AI prompt system to let you completely customize the look. While that is not available now, the creator device is not necessarily cheap at $99 for the upgrade. So I will put a link in the description if you want the free but not really free flight hybrid synth. There are not a lot of artists that can claim to have had as big of an effect on music as Bob Marley. The father of reggae music became a legend after his death at the young age of just 36 years old, and while he was young at the time of passing, he is still remembered today. Tracks like Get Up, Stand Up, One Love, Jamming and No Woman No Cry were considered anthems for generations of young people during a time in the world of cultural revolution. Marley influenced musicians everywhere with his sounds, and now a piece of music history is up for sale that is considered the centerpiece of those recordings. HJ1 Helios console is being sold, and I bet one of you is interested in owning this masterpiece equipment. During the 70s, the Helios HJ1 dub station was used by artists like Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Queen and Jimi Hendrix, but this particular desk was only located in Jamaica. Located at the Harry J Studios in Kingston, the desk has been in operation since the 70s but has been restored to a pristine condition. For the low price of $2.5 million, you can buy this piece of music history. I actually really kind of wish that they just put that in a museum. So if collecting expensive audio equipment from around the world is your jam, head over to Retro Gear Shop, who is selling it along with a pair of NS10 monitors from the studio. Okay, those NS10s makes it a good deal. The next story admittedly isn't music related, but our studio's writers thought it was important enough to include it this week. Having a traumatic brain injury or debilitating disease like ALS is considered a nightmare for most people. The disease removes the body's ability to communicate to the rest of your body, locking the individuals inside their minds, which is horrible. A startup company, Synchron, is trying to make people with the disease feel less isolated by giving them the ability to communicate to their favorite desktop AI device, Amazon Alexa. The company's brain-computer interface, BCI, is now being trialed in humans, and a successful installation has now been reported by the company. The trial patient, Mark, is an ALS sufferer who is now paralyzed and lost the ability to interact normally with the devices around him. The BCI is now letting him communicate directly through the Toth to Alexa, which then can control other devices like his TV, lights, and even scroll pages of digital books or start audio programs for him. If ChatGPT is more your AI of choice, Synchron has already connected Mark's BCI to the service, as well as Apple's Vision Pro device for additional fun in VR, which sounds pretty cool. Synchron is monitoring Mark's progress with the bi-weekly visits, and so far everything has been working properly, although he has said there are frustrations with different platforms. He admits this probably has more to do with the companies that make the AI rather than issues with his device. This is all extremely promising for those suffering from tragedies and diseases, and I am excited to see where this goes. Although they need to hurry up a bit, as I could definitely use a few extra petaflops of memory installed in my head soon. DJing from my head, that's the next thing, huh? Quick! What do Meta and Spotify have in common? If you said being slapped with the fines by European Union, you will be correct. Slap it! The two giant companies penned an open letter together to voice their frustrations with the European Union. Don't take our money! Specifically, they have taken issue with the way the body has been doling out regulations and fines and made their decisions in regards to AI model training. Oh no! Both companies have recently said they have delayed feature launches on their platforms due to the uncertainty that the EU data regulations have created, as they are trying not to get fined again. Good, very good. The companies say that the next generation of AI-built products are going to suffer because of the lack of support of EU-specific model training due to the delays. Basically, if a feature is cool, the companies are going to not set them up in Europe until after the EU makes their decision on how AI laws are going to be applied. In basically the opposite of our earlier story of how California is passing laws everyone can agree to, it seems the EU is taking a different approach. My right there is really taking pride on California. He lives in California, you know? Finally, he got something to be proud of. They are pissing off everyone by not passing any laws and applying fines for regulations that are suddenly passed, applied quickly without concern for how they will be applied. At least that's according to the two corporations, exactly. According to Facebook, how trustful. Gear acquisition syndrome, or GAS, is a major problem in the world. I don't have it. The affliction has been impacting musicians and more specifically their bank accounts for as long as you could buy something that makes noise with money. This week, the evil purveyor of gas, who has inflicted pain on many wallets through the world, has been outed as an industry plant. I have no idea where this story goes. The whistleblowers claims that Florian Pliss is an industry plant, and Batgear, the YouTube channel that gives you autism with all the flashing memes every week, is a psyops from Big Sin. What is going on? So who uncovered the deep conspiracy of the synth world's reptile overlords, whose only mission is to take valuable cash from unsuspecting musicians? Florian's video outing himself is viewable on his channel, and we will link in the description below so you can witness the incredibly well scripted video. I haven't watched it, I'm gonna watch it. We commend, at least my writer commands Mr. Pliss for his bravery in coming forward to show us all the evil ways of his channel. My writer apparently also very stunned at the fact that the video was shot in all one take, and that on its own is a massive achievement, and I'm more curious about the video. So keep up the good investigative work, Florian. We need you to help us out those responsible for gas obsessions each week. We will see you next week shilling your latest bad gear. A few weeks ago, we reported about how the campaign for Donald Trump was having issues with the Isaac Hayes estate. In a court battle, the estate won against the campaign, which stopped the campaign from using his tracks. Well, that wasn't the end of the problems for the campaign. The list of artists that have now come out and additionally asked nicely to have their music removed from the campaign's playlist has grown to pretty insane levels. The YouTube channel Legal Eagle has gone through the complete list and is comprehensive and included that this means and what the implications of the request means. As the channel says, none of the cool kids want Donald Trump using their music in their campaign. If you want a good explanation of performance rights and copyright law in an entertaining 20 minutes, I will link the video below so you can see who is joining the list of persona non grata for Mr. Trump. And that's the news for this week. Please tune in again for your latest music news next week as well.